What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Call of Duty World War II on BlackTideTV. In today's episode, I have a new first look camo for you, and that would be the final camouflage pattern in the game, Chrome. So I've already shown you gold and diamond, both of which will be linked in the cards in the top right corner. But without further ado, I've got 3 classes with 6 weapons to show you the Chrome camouflage on, which you will unlock for completing diamond in every single weapon class. So I've got a couple epic weapons, a couple common weapons, and a couple heroic weapons. Not on purpose, this is just how it turned out. But we're going through, these are the worst looking weapons, the medium weapons, and the best of the best with the Chrome camouflage. And of course, this is just an example. A lot of weapons that are more heroic look a lot nicer. There are certain epics that will make it look very nice, but because the epics aren't the final grade of a variant, you'll often notice like some chips or some just really big inconsistencies with the camouflage pattern itself. And then the base weapons or the commons, they look pretty good regardless. A lot of weapons, they'll look kind of iffy. For example, the Lee Enfield doesn't look great, but a lot of the other common weapons, they'll look pretty good, and we'll see that here in today's video. So without further ado, we're going to start with the worst. So the Chrome camouflage doesn't look great on every weapon, and the SVT-40 Siberian is a good example of this. I like this inspect animation, by the way, on the Siberian. It's a unique inspect where he looks at the entire gun, but it really looks like there's just some metal kind of scrapings on there, like the color has been scratched off to reveal the metal underneath. It really does not look like Chrome, and if you were using this weapon in game, people wouldn't be able to very easily identify the camouflage. And I think that's the biggest issue with the Chrome camouflage in Call of Duty World War II. Being the final camouflage was released as recently as, I think it was Advanced Warfare had the first final camouflage of royalty. So we've always had a final camo, like going back as far as Call of Duty 4, we had gold, but gold only came on certain weapons, whereas in Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops, I think gold was just a regular camouflage and it wasn't too big of a deal. Black Ops 2 was the first to introduce diamond, if I'm not mistaken, and diamond camouflage was once you completed gold on every weapon in a category. But Advanced Warfare brought out the royalty camouflage, where you could complete diamond in every category and earn royalty. And that was the first one where you would use royalty and people would notice it in game. Bright gold with the little filament and the diamonds and the rubies, it was really nice. And that was part of the very beginning of this channel, was I would go through and I would show you guys how to get the royalty camouflage and what the royalty camouflage looks like on certain weapons. And it was very noticeable and it was very nice. And then going forward, we had like Dark Matter in Black Ops 3. Dark Matter is one of the best camouflage to this date. Just purple and black, and it's always moving. It just looks really cool. Completely unrealistic, but it was very, very nice and it was very noticeable. And then again, as recently as Infinite Warfare, we had Solar and Black Sky. And then once you were playing Modern Warfare Remastered, you had Exclusion Zone. And Exclusion Zone is my personal favorite maximum camouflage to this day. The black that's cracked with the green inside. It looks really, really nice, Exclusion Zone. Whereas this camouflage pattern, it's not noticeable. For the most part, if you see people running around with Chrome camouflage, you won't see it. Sometimes you won't even see it in the kill cam. If you were looking at this Holtz pistol, this epic machine pistol in the kill cam, and they didn't do an inspect animation to have the real shine from the sun and look at the chrome, if they didn't do that inspect animation in a kill cam, you likely wouldn't even know that that is Chrome. Especially considering there are certain weapons in this game, certain variants, that just appear Chrome to begin with. There are certain variants that just already look like they have Chrome on them. There were people wondering if certain others had Chrome before Chrome was available, because at the beginning of the game, one of the challenges was busted and you couldn't get Chrome. And there were people running around with this MG15, which appears Chrome, but it didn't actually have Chrome on it yet. So we're going to hop into the base weapons now. These are some SMGs that I find the Chrome camouflage looks really good on. Very noticeable. The M1928 Thompson submachine gun. especially with the extended magazines. I like putting the extended magazines on this weapon anyways, but they do definitely bring out that chrome camouflage because you can see it right there. There's a flat piece in front of you, so you are seeing the chrome camouflage at all times. Whereas if you weren't using extended mags, I'll quickly take them off, you might not even notice because it just looks like metal. And sometimes the metal looks a lot shinier depending on what map you're playing on, depending on what angle you're at from the sun. The sun can shine on your weapon and make it look really shiny anyway, so it really is just a shiny camouflage. Diamond, I find, is much more noticeable than the chrome camouflage in this game. And here we have the MP40. Again, the MP40 is usually a black metal, whereas this one is completely chromed out, which you can see it when you inspect, and it looks fantastic when you inspect the MP40. Like, that looks incredible. That looks really, really nice. But when you're holding it naturally and the sun isn't hitting it in the right way, the camera angle is off, it just kind of looks like it's a little bit shinier than usual. Like maybe it's catching a reflection of something. Even the lower part of there, it still looks like it's black, which doesn't really do anything for me. I'm going to use it because I have it, and there's something about the prestige of earning chrome camouflage. You put in all that work to earn chrome camouflage, you are likely going to be using chrome camouflage on every single class, on every single weapon from now until the day you die, or until you get the next Call of Duty game, because you do not want to give up this opportunity to say, look, I've got the chrome camouflage, and I did that in all of my games. Exclusion Zone, Royalty, I'd use it on every weapon, but people would actually notice, and people would be like, oh man, you got this, and they would start sending you messages like, how did you get this gun chrome or this gun royalty? And that's actually how I got a lot of my original video ideas. Like, how did you finish the crossbow to get royalty in Advanced Warfare? Well, let me make a video of it, and that was one of the first big videos that I've ever made. So it's just, you can't really notice this, and it drives me crazy that you can't. It's just not that special until you get to certain heroic variants. Of course, the heroic variants will show off the camouflage pattern in Call of Duty World War II better than almost any other weapon in the game. Like I said, the base weapons aren't bad. Sorry for the controller smashing there. The common weapons aren't bad. There are certain common weapons that just they don't look very good. They've got black spots on them. And the epics usually look pretty bad. Sometimes I'll just go with the epics without a chrome camouflage, without any camouflage, because the camouflage in general, when you put them on an epic, it just doesn't look good. But the heroic weapons, as with gold, as with diamond, the heroic weapons are set up to completely be covered by the camouflage pattern. This is how the camouflages should work on all weapons regardless. I think it's really cheap how the developers have implemented this camouflage application system. But the heroic weapons, the camouflage will actually apply to a heroic weapon the way that it is intended to. They purposefully take spots out of the camouflage patterns on like the regulars and on the epics, so that you are driven to go for the heroic weapons in supply drops. Because the heroic weapons, as you'll see here, look amazing. This isn't even a great variant for showing off a camouflage. I've just recently hit Prestige. I think I'm like level 11, so I was looking for weapons that I could show it off on. Normally, I would show it off on maybe an M1 Garand or something like that, because there's much more surface area to show off the camouflage. But if you look at that, even with like the bag on the barrel of the gun and just like the little symbols on the battle watch there, I think this is the battle watch, the savior, sorry. It just looks so, so nice. The chrome goes on it very easily. You can see it very easily from all angles. It's much more shiny, much brighter. And you would actually notice this in game. Maybe not if you were looking at an enemy, but if you saw the kill cam really quickly, you'd be like, oh, that's chrome. Or maybe if you picked up the weapon in game, you'd be like, oh, what the hell is this weapon? It looks so nice. The chrome camouflage does look incredible on the heroic weapons. Pretty much every heroic weapon, you can't go wrong with the chrome camouflage on heroic. Same as diamond, same as gold. You really cannot go wrong with putting any type of camouflage pattern on any type of heroic weapon. Especially my personal favorite, the M1903 Faithful 2, which is already one of the best looking variants of any weapon in the entire game. You slap chrome on there, and that is a fully chromed out sniper rifle. I use this is my main sniper, this is my go-to sniper, this is what I'm trying to hit clips with. I'd like to make a montage for you guys at some point. I'm much more getting into the sniping style now that I've completed chrome. I'm doing a lot more sniping, but oh my god, just looking at that weapon, like, that's insane. Completely chromed out, looks absolutely just, oh, it just looks so good. Whereas you compare that to some of those weapons that we were looking at the beginning, like, again, what is this? There's barely any chrome even on that gun. So if you are going to play this game for the long haul, if you're going for maybe, if you're going to go through and you're going to open supply drops and you're going to really work on finding those heroic weapons and you just need something to do, that's why I would definitely recommend Chrome. It gives you something to do in that if you're just playing the game, I haven't just played a Call of Duty game in years because I've been doing YouTube, and that gives me an opportunity to really use every single weapon and really give you, like, so I can make the guides and I go through and I do all the challenges. I go for 100% completion. I go for max level. I'm already 10th prestige, as I've said. I'm almost, I'm going through level 1000 in this game, like I did in Black Ops 3. I'm going to be level 1000. I didn't do it for Infinite Warfare because they added like 30 prestige, which was the stupidest thing ever. So I didn't do it in Infinite Warfare, Modern Warfare Remastered. I couldn't jump back and forth between 2 Call of Duty games and play up to level 1000 on each. But with this game, currently there are 10 prestige and level 1000. So I'm definitely doing that. I just find that if you don't have something to keep you playing the game, it can get stale. Either you're going to be a competitive player, you're going to be a pub stomper, you're going to be a zombies player, but you always need to have something to do, something to work towards. And the Chrome Camouflage is a very, very good example of that. If you are looking for something to do in this game, I would definitely recommend Chrome Camouflage, but just be aware that it isn't the most fantastic thing in the world. It's not a life changer when you get Chrome Camouflage, not like Exclusion Zone, not like Dark Matter. When you get that and you put it on your gun, you feel really, really good. You only feel that same feeling here if you are using a heroic variant, and then you'll start to see some people notice it's not going to be as flashy, it's not going to be as memorable as previous max camouflage. But that is going to conclude today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe if you're new. Do you have Chrome Camouflage? Are you working towards Chrome Camouflage? And if you are, what weapons are you currently working on? Are you having trouble with any weapons? Let me know in the comment section down below. I might do some camouflage guides if you guys need some serious help on certain weapons. I've already addressed the launchers. They were the biggest pain in the ass in the world. And the LMGs were actually a little bit tough as well, just because I saved them for last and I wasn't used to that LMG playstyle. But once you start using the LMGs, you'll actually find that those LMGs are very, very powerful, especially because they've just been recently buffed as well. But that is going to conclude the video, guys. I really hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I will catch you guys possibly on a second upload later tonight, but possibly tomorrow as well. Thank you, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.